Hello, Internet. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from your friends at the Geekiverse. This week's edition of Open Mic. It's me, the Grumpy Geek, Jamie Leroy, Trevor White. We're talking about the things that are on our mind this week. It's going to be hard not to talk about Carrie Fisher this week, but that's not what this episode is about. This is, we found some things in the news that were like, ooh, kind of the old Arsenio Hall thing. If any of you are old enough to remember the Arsenio Hall show, things that make you go, that's what we got going on. So, Trevor, what you got with that? I was going to talk about how Trevor is getting ready to star in Duck Dynasty with his new big red beard, but I decided that wasn't something that made me go, So, Trev, what do you got, man?
Well, joke's on you because I am starring in Duck Dynasty, season whatever. No,
season 46.
Uncle Trev.
Oh gosh, that'd be really fun though. I love Uncle Si. Anyways, I have been binge watching Man in the High Castle. I watched season 1. I don't know, towards the end of season 1 last year. Season 2, amazing. I don't know if any of you guys are like interested in like World War II stuff, but basically the overview is Germany and Japan won World War II. They took over the United States. They split up the United States into two different like countries based on like Germany would have the East Coast up to the Rocky Mountains, and then Japan would have the West Coast up to the Rocky Mountains. And then like the Rockies are kind of like this Wild West area. But from season 1 they have definitely expanded upon the world and all the different characters, the crazy ending from last season with the transportation minister, Adam? Yeah. He's the only one here that's seen it before. So,
it's the trade minister.
Oh, trade minister. But anyways, they've expanded upon it. There's some crazy stuff that happens this season. I definitely recommend just both of you watching it. It's very good.
Man in the High Castle, that is an Amazon original?
Yeah, it's Amazon.
Amazon Prime. Original, Amazon Prime. All right, Uncle Si. Jamie, what you got going on?
One thing I found interesting was an article I read yesterday about how a website called The Wrap let go that Deadpool would make an appearance in the upcoming movie Logan, which is an X-Men movie. However, it was not true at all. It was just a rumor, and they... Director James Mangold and Ryan Reynolds both denied that it would happen, so I thought that was interesting. I guess it would make a lot of sense because Deadpool was in the 2009 X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, and everyone knows how horrible that was. He didn't even talk. He's a merc with a mouth, but he did not talk.
That was the dumbest thing ever when they sewed it. Although I have no problem sewing Ryan Reynolds' mouth shut. Sewing Deadpool's mouth shut just didn't work for me at all.
Worst thing ever. That ruins his character.
It's just not his character.
And did they kill him off? Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, he died.
He died too. So it was like a 5-minute thing. It was pointless. Anyway, it would make sense that would be happening, especially with Deadpool, which came out this year. The character wore a Wolverine mask for a minute, and I think that was really funny. But anyway, it's not happening, and I'm kind of glad because it wouldn't really make sense.
I think that this particular movie is designed to be a serious ending to Hugh Jackman in his fantastic run as Wolverine. So I don't think it would work as throwing Deadpool in there.
And also Charles Xavier as well.
Charles Xavier is in there.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean it's kind of like
Patrick Stewart's swan song as the thing as well. Yeah, the Marvel movies as a whole have done just an incredible job of casting. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some iconic casting decisions in the Marvel movies as a whole, both the MCU and some of the outside stuff. The X-Men, just bunches of them were so good.
Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. Even like the new, younger versions of those characters, like with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender, they're excellent.
Yeah, excellent. But they're not going to be able to hold a candle to.
No, absolutely not.
So when you're trying to go out on a serious note, it just wouldn't work to put Deadpool in there.
No.
So
and part of the rumor was that it would be the after credits scene, and I think that would kind of ruin everything. Like, Deadpool can't not be funny, so Wolverine dies and then Deadpool comes in. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, and you know, there's lots of things going on in the world right now of recasting things. That, you know, I just read something, and I'm not going to remember who it was because it was a soap actor or something like that is now picking up one of the sci-fi things, and they're going to recast his role in the soap. And one of the things that I've kind of liked is some of this stuff is we're handing off batons.
Yeah.
As opposed to recasting roles. You know, sometimes we reboot, but sometimes we have continuity. Like the whole Star Wars universe seems to be something that's just going to keep moving forward. They developed a whole bunch of new characters in Episode 7 that will eventually follow their stories. As we all know what happened to Han, and now with Carrie Fisher's untimely death, and you know, eventually Luke is gonna become the Alec Guinness of the group, and you know, he'll be in the background in the new character. So I like that continuity. I think maybe in the X-Men we get X-23 to replace to be the Wolverine character, as opposed to getting a new. Because how are you gonna beat Hugh Jackman?
You're not.
You're just not. Like his character was so well developed that when you reboot it, it's just not. You're not gonna be able to watch. It's gonna be unwatchable.
And he was in every single X-Men movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Well, move forward.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do to move forward. Well, my thing of the week is actually a real thing. It has nothing to do with fiction or fantasy or anything like that. A scientist out of University of California, Irvine. I think his name was Charles Zander, an atmospheric physicist, I think is his title, came up with an idea to combat climate change. And what he wants to do is called SAI, something. He wants to basically aerosolize particles and put them into the atmosphere to scatter the light to rapidly cool the planet.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, have you ever seen anything on the Sci-Fi Channel at all? Because does that seem like the worst idea ever?
It seems like that's the beginning of like the zombie outbreak. Is this
zombie outbreak, or the 200,000 year ice age or something like that? Like, this is the worst idea I've ever seen. And then I gave it a little bit more thought, and I'm like, gosh, is there any precedent for like particles in the air causing problems? Like, say for example, in 1815, there was no summer in Buffalo, New York because a volcano blew up in 1814 on the other side of the world, so it snowed right through the summer in 1815. And maybe that one time where this little rock fell out of the sky and created, the Gulf of Mexico and killed the dinosaurs. Does anybody think this is a good idea to scatter particles in the world? This guy apparently does, and I think that maybe I was also the guy that sounded the alarm when, like 2 years ago, we started launching nuclear warheads at the moon.
Yeah.
Does anybody know that the moon kind of has a little place in our whole thing?
Exactly.
And maybe if it wasn't there, or maybe in the wrong orbit, things that we love, like living, would change.
Or the beach.
The beach? The beach would be in Kansas.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or something like that. Like, this seems to me to be an absolutely horrible idea.
Yeah.
I think that maybe there's way better ways to combat climate change. That's just me.
It kind of sounds like when Elon Musk said that in order to terraform Mars, we could launch nukes to the poles of Mars, and that would rapidly heat Mars for us to live there. It's like, yeah, but haven't you ever seen like Godzilla, where all of a sudden there's like giant lizards all over the place?
Well, way more important, I think it would be like, let's go to Mars, where we can walk around inside a microwave oven. Like just awful ideas all the way around. And I generally respect Elon Musk. Not that one, Elon.
No, not
that one is not the best idea that you ever had.
No.
So that's what we got this week for our open mic. For Jamie Leroy, Trevor White, myself, Happy New Year from the Geekiverse.